Hey everyone, I hope all of you are doing great. So in this lesson, we are going to see how we can use Grafana Alloy and eBPF to do auto-instrumentation of any application and send the traces to Open Telemetry in Grafana Cloud. So I just wanted to kind of show you how it's gonna look like. Okay, so let's assume this is our application and this can be the front end, and then our application will also have some sort of backend. And then let's say we also have a database. So this is how it's going to connect. Now when we are using let's say matrix, we typically monitor front end, we monitor backend, we monitor database, but we'll need traces in order to understand how our request is floating or how it is being processed. So what I mean is let's say somebody visited your website and tried to fetch the list of products which are available on the website. Now when the request from user came here, you would like to know, okay, how much time front end took the request to send to backend, and how much time like backend took to send the request to database, how much time each of the database queries took to execute, and then overall, how much this complete request took to respond to the user. So if you want to kind of have information about all of these, you'll need to basically instrument the application. Now by instrumenting the application, what I mean is you have to typically embed some kind of instrumentation code in your application. But with Grafana eBPF, which is available, we'll be able to perform zero code changes in our application, and we'll be able to do auto instrumentation of our application. So for this one to work, first we are going to add Open Telemetry information. Now again, I'm going to use Grafana Cloud Open Telemetry. So these environment variables are already available, which we set up in our first lesson. If you go and read readme.md, you'll also be able to find that information here. So first of all, I'm just going to copy this, and then I'm going to go to the server, or probably you can just open it from here. So now I'm logged into the server. I'm going to switch to root user, and then we are going to go to etc alloy directory. And if I do ll here, you can see these are the configuration files which we created in previous lessons. Now we are going to add 01-global-hotel.alloy, and I'm going to paste what we copied from GitHub. Let's go ahead and save it. And then the other thing which we need is this file, which is 09-ebpf.alloy. Now here you need to modify some of the information. For example, let's say if your application is listening on different port, you can provide those port information here. So what I'll do is I'm just going to first put this file here, ebpf.alloy, and I know that the application which I'm running, or I'm going to run, listens on 3000. The front end listens on port 3000. The backend listens on port 8002. The application name is called LiveFlow, so I'm just going to give the label of LiveFlow as well. And we can also change the name here. I'm also going to call it LiveFlow. Okay. Now let's go ahead, save it, and then we also need to restart Alloy. So before I do that, I'm also going to just go ahead, open one more terminal, and going to just run the application. So our application is here, it's in LiveFlow, and if I do ll here, you can see I have like front end built on React, and backend is on Python, and then we do have database. Database is basically just SQLite. Now eBPF will be able to auto instrument front end, backend, and also the database's requests. So I'm just going to launch the application using launcher. Before I do that, I also need to load the virtual environment. Now I'm just going to launch the launcher. So our application should be running now. I'm just going to go ahead, quickly test it. So this is the application which we have. Okay, now I'm going to go back to this terminal, and remember we need to restart Alloy. So I'm going to do systemctl restart Alloy, and let's go ahead, check the status. We can do systemctl status Alloy, and we can see Alloy is running. If you want to also see graphical user interface of Alloy, you can do localhost :12345, and here will be we can switch to graph, and you'll be able to see how the pipeline is working. So we need to search for Open Telemetry here. So here you can see we have Open Telemetry pipeline, and we are using this Beyla.eBPF live flow, which is going to send the data which it is scraping to Open Telemetry exporter OTLP, which is going to basically write the data to Grafana Cloud. Okay, so this is how this pipeline is going to work. Now I'm just going to refresh the application, going to make few requests on the application. So there are some transactions being captured, and then we can go to Grafana Cloud. We can click on Explore. Now here you need to select Tempo data source. So this is the symbol of Tempo data source, and this is how it is typically named. Now here we can select last 5 minutes or last 15 minutes. Then click on search, and in the values you can see we do have a service name called live flow. And now if we just click on run query, so here you can see we just clicked on, like we just performed a few transactions here by going through these application, various tabs of this application, and we are able to see those transactions being shown here. So let me run it again. If I click on run query, you can see we do have these traces. Now I can click on any of these traces. For example, I can see that there is a request, get request, which is made to /cleaning/nearby. If I just click on this trace ID, I'll be able to see more details. So here you can see overall it took 7 seconds to respond or to process, and then you can see the kind of stuff which it did. So you can just expand each of these queries. You'll be able to see further details. For example, here you can see the request was in queue almost like for 364 milliseconds, or I think this symbol is for nanoseconds. Okay, and then it took almost 7 seconds to do the processing, and it made a call to, you can see it made a post request to /v1beta/models. If we expand it further, we'll be able to see additional details. For example, here you can see in the url.full that it made a post request to Gemini APIs. Okay, so that's the reason it took like 7 seconds to process. So overall, you will be able to see like how the request is flowing. You'll be able to diagnose the application better by going through these traces. So that's all in this lesson. If you have any question, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer it. Thank you so much for watching. See you again in the next lesson.